And I will tell the little story of how I found Michael Newton. And I do talk with my hands, so we'll see if I bang into the microphone. Oh, and I have a little bit of allergies too, but this is where I am today. So let's see. I think it's been about 5 years. My little dog passed away, who had got during a divorce like 13 years earlier. So really special time, healing little animal, little soul. And I know this is being recorded, so I'm being a little aware of what I'm going to say. So let's just say, and she and I hit a little rough spot in our relationship. And so when I lost her, kind of suddenly, I was devastated. And I'm one of those people that's very attached to their animals anyway. And the fact that we had kind of not been in our best place was really, really hard. I mean, right before she passed, we had kind of reconciled, but we had gotten thrown off balance by something outside of us. So I was like, it was my first major loss. And I always feel embarrassed, like I wish it could say it was some person, but it was my dog. So that was my story. So literally, I was inconsolable. My now husband, I don't remember if we were married at the time, kind of didn't know what to do with me. Like, it was so bad. The next day, I literally, he was at work, went to the library and sat alone in a chair just because I didn't want to be alone. I couldn't stand being at home because everything reminded me of her, and I couldn't figure out where else to go or what else to do. So I was just overwhelmed with grief. And so I had already been doing some hypnosis in my marriage family therapy practice, and that had started to open me up. And I had also started opening up spiritually through an illness probably 10 or 20 years earlier. But I really feel like this was the ultimate kind of opening up. So a hypnosis friend, had met a medium at a networking thing. And she said, why don't we go do this? And it was, he called it a spirit circle. It's my friend Beecham Parker. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's wonderful. He may be coming to the area soon. But and I come from, my story, Christian college professor, Master's of Divinity from an evangelical seminary, and doctorate in my marriage family studies from the evangelical seminary. And so when I did my healing, that had really kind of shoved me out of that because I sought alternative healing. And I'm going way off into my story here. I want to get back to you guys. But the gist of it was this was a huge undertaking to step in. So that's why I say only my little dog could have got me into that place where I was ready to trust and go that far outside of my box. And I mean, that box never really fit anyway, and I was mostly out of it. But this was like the big shove. So I found healing in this spirit circle of mediumship. It was the only thing that relieved my grief, so then I went and took workshops with him. I attended a development circle for several months. It's all I wanted to breathe, eat, sleep. In fact, that's why I think it feels so good to be here. And had I not been married, God bless my husband, who I was completely neglecting, I think I would have continued. But it became clear that, I needed to sort of reintegrate into life. Because I just wanted to be on the other side. It was so wonderful. So at my very last development circle, as we were wrapping up having snacks, and I was never a gifted medium. I was able to do it just because if you practice, I've learned you can, get some connections. But I wasn't, it wasn't my thing really. But in the very last circle, a woman in the group said, since you do hypnosis, you're probably familiar with Michael Newton's work. And I said, no, I'm not. Literally, as I'm practically ready to leave. And so, of course, then I started reading Michael Newton's books, and I found the hypnosis I did have some talents with. And I thought, okay, this is something I can do, and I can still be connected to the other side. Because for those of you who don't,